Hey folks, Randy here with Dolan Cut and Trim. So I worked for the government in Maryland for 9 years, and I was a county employee for 5 of it, and then a state employee for 4 of it. But I was in the same department the whole time. And there's something that county and state employees, especially in the state of Maryland, are experts in, and they are experts in what's wrong. They are next level. There's nothing more knowledgeable than a government employee on what the state of the problem is. No one knows better what the problem is than a government employee. Another thing that government employees are absolute experts in is why your solution won't work. They're very, very good at that too. And the thing they also seem to have in common, and again, I was there for 9 years, is that they don't solve anything. And that's because experts on the problem and experts on the problem with the solution get nothing done. People that are solution driven, that look for an answer and go for it, that don't just accept that it's just too screwed up and there's just no way to solve the problem, those are the people that get ahead. And we live in, for whatever reason, I don't know why, a very negative driven world. We really like to see what's wrong. Like, we like to see what's wrong with each other. We like to hear about the bad things that other people do. When we listen to the news, we hear everything bad. We don't hear what's good. There might be a little segment at the very end, but for the most part, the news is about people doing things wrong, about explaining why things are wrong. If you turn on an opinion show, they're never talking about what a great job someone's doing. They're always talking about what's going wrong. And this negative cycle, it just breeds more negativity. It creates more negativity, and it drives you down. Because the more you surround yourself, the more you speak to the problem, the more you speak it out, the more that's what's on your mind. That's all that you can see. All you can see is the problem, because that's all you're looking at. And I want to encourage people, and I'm not talking like I'm some kind of better than anybody else, because believe me, I have been in this spiral before many times. I just happen to not be in it right now. Give me a month, I'll be back there. But you got to get yourself out of that negative spiral. I understand things might be bad for you. I understand things might be horrible for you. Focusing on that doesn't make it better. Looking for the solution and then walking towards that solution is what makes it better. Even if you can't walk towards the solution, just fall in the direction of the solution, But stop worrying so much about knowing every facet of the problem. Acknowledge the problem's there and then move forward. One of the things everybody likes to talk about is inflation. Yeah, it's a thing. Whose fault is it? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. What matters is you're going to have to respond to it. What matters is you have to raise your prices because stuff costs more. That's what matters. Gas prices are up, I guess. Bummer. It's someone's fault, but it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter, because regardless of, even if you can point the finger at someone and say, this guy, it's his fault that this is happening, it doesn't change the fact that it's happening, and it doesn't change the fact that you still got to deal with it. So instead of being so worried and focused on knowing whose fault it is and really just getting into the nitty gritty of how they screwed it up and how we're all screwed, find the solution and go with that. The people with solutions are the people that win. The people that whine and cry are the people that struggle. I gotta tell you, we spent all of 2022 listening to how horrible everything was, how awful it was, how the world is, it's falling apart. Gas prices, inflation, Bidenflation, if you're along those lines, you know what I mean? Whatever. And he kept hearing about how bad it was going to be and how horrible 2022 was. Well, I refused to do that. Matter of fact, I said earlier in the year that I was using all the negativity that I was hearing as an opportunity for me to get ahead of all you negative people. And you know what? Revenue shot through the roof last year. We were, let me think, see if I don't know if I can do percentages off the top of my head. I can't. But revenue was up 20% over the year before. And so far, in 2023, which is supposed to be worse than 2022, so far in 2023, even with a snowless, warm winter, we are crushing the month comparison from the previous year, destroying it. January and February so far, and February is only halfway through, but so far we're beating that by right around 30% compared to this time last year, destroying it. And you know, there's a lot of reasons for that, but one of the big ones is I refuse to buy into the negativity. You know, we do prepayments at the beginning of the year, and instead of being like, oh, I really hope my customers come back, oh, I raised prices. With some of them, I raised prices a lot. It's what you got to do. You know, it's not personal, it's business. So, you know, if you're feeling like there's no way I can compete with the prices and the inflation, well, raise your prices, man. It's what you got to do, you know? Cry about it if you want, but move forward. Or don't. Sit there, complain, fuss about how hard it is, and just stay where you are. And just pray that no one else leaves. You could do that too. I don't see how it helps you. I don't. I'm just so tired of hearing people talk about how hard it is and how tough it is and how we're all set up to lose. I don't have time for it. I don't see how it's benefiting you. And I'm not interested in hearing it. There's people on YouTube that I've unsubscribed from because I'm not interested in hearing about your negativity. I'm not interested in the negativity that you've allowed to poison yourself to poison me. I'm not doing that. So if you're not focusing on going ahead and moving forward and crushing it and just addressing the issues as they come and finding solutions, I have no interest in listening to you talk. You know, I 100% believe Dual and Cut and Trim is going to crush it this year. I believed that last year. I believed it the year before. I'm going to keep believing it. I'm not going to stop. Because once you start focusing on what's wrong, once you start focusing on the negativity, you stop innovating, you stop growing, and you become stagnant. So I hope this video is helpful to you guys. Hope somebody can get themselves out of that rut. This is Randy with Dual and Cut and Trim. Have a good one.